Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo. I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available Christmas 2025 and a half BC, the album. Dad, shimmy, shimmy, AF. Rock on, gold dust woman. Boost! How are you guys doing today? Well, I was going to the pool. My pool bag is out on the front porch. I have my coffee ready. I have my swimsuit on. I have my pool t-shirt on. I was ready to go to the pool, and I went outside, and I was supposed to meet my neighbor up there. She's going with some girlfriends, and she texted me, and she said, it's going to be another half an hour. So I was like, okay, well, my husband's going to be home by that point, so I might as well make a drama video. When life hands you lemons, make a drama video, I guess. So how are you guys doing today? I'm very tired today. I'm very tired. So for those of you that do not know, okay, I am binge watching, well, I don't know how many episodes I'm down to now. Probably like 119 or 120 episodes of Sister Wives. I am trying to, I'm on season 10 currently. I'm halfway through season 10. I'm trying to finish all 18 seasons of Sister Wives before season 19 premieres on September 15th. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make sure that I get through all 18 seasons. I heard the later seasons are better, so I'm kind of like right now it's like Janelle and Mary are fighting over the Thanksgiving decorations. And so anyway, but I have to tell you, some of my vlogs said, they go, I don't know why, because I watch Welcome to Plathville too. They said, I don't know why you don't like Welcome to Plathville, but you love Sister Wives. Nothing happens on either one of the show. And I was like, I have never felt so called out in my life because it's 100% the truth. Nothing ever happens on any of the shows at all. And nothing happens at all. But I did just film my reaction to seasons 6, 7, 8, and 9 of Sister Wives today over on my Peter Watches TV channel. So for those of you that don't know, because a lot of people keep on DMing me and they said, did you start another channel? Yeah, like 8 months ago I started another channel. And it's called Peter Watches TV. It originally started with me it's linked below. It's linked right below in the description box. But it's called Peter Watches TV. Originally, it was called Peter's Reality Recaps and Opinions, better known as, and that's my opinion. But I changed it, okay? I changed it because I don't just watch reality TV. I watch true crime documentaries. Actually, I just finished doing a reaction to the Lacey Peterson documentary on Netflix. It just came out like 2 weeks ago. And then I turned around, and the day that the Scott Peterson documentary Face to Face came out on Peacock, I did my reaction to that. People seem to love me covering true crime over there. So I'm covering all the true crime documentaries over there. This week, I'm going to be covering Taken Together. That was on Max. I'm going to be covering At Wit's End. I've covered like The Perfect Wife, American Nightmare. I've covered like a lot of true crime over there. So I'm covering all the true crime. I'm covering all the limited series. I'm covering Big Brother. I'm covering Sister Wives. I'm covering all the shows over there. So, and I'm ready for The Valley to come back. I'm ready for The Valley to come back. Did you hear that Brittany Cartwright served Jax Taylor divorce papers? They both of them said they were never going to get divorced. Well, in honor of Brittany Cartwright, because somebody commented on my video yesterday. Well, if you didn't watch my video yesterday, I talked about my lip balms that everybody said looked like a powdered donut. It did. It just straight up looked like a powdered donut. You were so right. But somebody said in honor of Brittany Cartwright serving Jax Taylor divorce papers, Peter's trying to look like Brittany Cartwright's mother with the severe tan and the 1980s lip balm because it was like, you know, anyway. So somebody commented on my video and they said, you're not actually using the lip balm. So I did a whole haul over on my Peter Does Stuff channel of all my lip balms, the Treat Beauty lip balms. And somebody said you should use the Candy Apple one that you got. Okay, so from Candy Apple's Dance Studios from Dance Moms. Anyway, oh, poor Vivi. What happened to Vivi? Is she still eating sundaes? Poor Vivi. Candy Apples, that mom, Candy Apples, who I kind of loved, if you want to know the truth. Candy Apples was like the nicest villain that's ever hit like TV ever. Like I liked Candy Apples. But anyway, Candy Apples, her daughter, Kathy, was her name, from Candy Apples. See, I actually watch the Dance Moms. I'm not just somebody that covers it for views. I don't think I've ever made a video about Dance Moms, but maybe I have. I don't know, but I don't think I have. I actually watched the show from episode 1 all the way through of Dance Moms. But anyway, Candy Apples, Kathy, was my favorite because, of course, partly because she had a dance studio called Candy Apples. I don't know why, that just cracks me up. But what I love most about Candy Apples, Kathy, who was like the rival to Abby Lee Miller, was that she had this daughter named Vivi. I think her name was Vivian, but she called her Vivi. And so Vivi was always going to be the star of Kathy's shows, but Vivi had 2 left feet and couldn't dance because she didn't want to dance. You could tell she could care less. Kathy would come up with this huge concocted choreography for Vivi, and all, like, she would hire these like dancers that were like world-renowned dancers, and they were all supposed to like dance around Vivi, and Vivi would just kind of like stand there, and she like could less be bothered. She never wanted to, like, she'd always be like, Mom, can we go get ice cream? She didn't care to be a dancer whatsoever, and I lived for Vivi. I think Vivi is the most fantastic thing that has ever come out of Dance Moms. No, true story, I do. Vivi should be given her own reality show, because Vivi, her best moments, if you ever watch Dance Moms, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, Kathy would be sitting there, and she'd like, she would take Vivi to the ice cream shop, and Vivi would have like the biggest ice cream sundae in the entire world, and just be dripping down her face and stuff like that. And Candy Apples, Kathy Candy Apples would be like, and what we're gonna do, and we're gonna get Abby this way. And Vivi would just be like, and she'd be like, this sundae. Oh my God. My friend Melissa and I, we used to watch that all the time together. We just like howl at Miss Vivi. We loved Miss Vivi. If you are out there, I love you, Miss Vivi. Somebody let Vivi know that listen, enough of you contacted Sephora Corporate. A couple of you could probably find Miss Vivi out there and let her know that I adore her, okay? I love Miss Vivi. Where is Miss Vivi? She needs her own reality show. Give Miss Vivi her own reality show and call it The Ice Cream Shop. Don't stop. Anyway, so, but I'm trying to binge watch all the Sister Wives, okay? So I'm finally past Mary getting catfished. I'm past all that. Now to the part where she and Janelle are fighting over Thanksgiving decorations and all this kind of stuff. But I did also watch this week's 2 episodes of The Bachelorette with Jen. So I'm totally caught up on The Bachelorette. Y'all, does anybody watch The Bachelorette anymore? I feel like I'm the only person that's watching. Listen, I'm hardcore Bachelor Nation. Okay, I feel like I'm the only people. I feel like me and Boo Radley, we're the only people out there that still watch Bachelor Nation. But anyway, I already know who she picks, because I looked it up. Listen, I don't like surprises, okay? And so I wanted to find out who she picked. I like the final 4 guys. Do you mean to tell you who she's engaged? She's engaged. Jenna's engaged. I already figured it out. I figured it out like the beginning, when she says, no, I can't let you propose to me. What she's going to say, and I didn't read this anywhere, but I know what she's going to say, is because this whole season has been about Jen taking her power back. What she's going to say is, I can't let you propose to me. I have to propose to you. She's going to propose to the guy at the end, but she's already engaged, okay? Now, if you didn't watch this week, it's down to the final 2. But the one guy, he can't even tell her that he loves her, okay? I'm like, girl, you have this gorgeous man that you let go of, and he was a creative director and lived in Los Angeles, but this guy can't even tell you that he loved you, but he's hoping that he gets there. I mean, this is why these women wonder why their relationships don't work, okay? Just hanging on. I might have hung on for a man or 2 that I told him that I loved him, but he didn't love me back. A couple, maybe even my husband, but he did fall in love with me, and we've been together now 16 years. So, but anyway, I thought I would do something kind of a little fun and different today. Oh, about my lip balm. So, somebody in my, see, I always remember what I'm talking about. Somebody in my comment section, they said, well, that's actually, the lip balm that you're using is actually the one that you hated. So in my video of my haul, I ordered these 2 iridescent shimmering lip balms. I ordered Unicorn Kisses, and I ordered Magic Mermaid, okay? So the one I've been using in my videos is called Unicorn Kisses, right? This is the one that somebody said I did not like. This is actually the one that I did like. The one that I did not like is Magic Mermaid, but I thought that we would try her today, okay? Whew, smells like grape. Anyway, grape soda. I thought we would try her today to see if she too gives a powder donut effect. Does she? She sure do, girl. Look at her powder donuts. Oh my God, I should never try this. Anyway, I mean, it's all fun and games over here, right? So I thought I would try this. I think going forward, because I like gave Manny and Laura such a hard time for coming for people saying stuff about their set. I think like every day going forward for the next month. No, I'm not going to, because I know this will keep people from watching my videos. Hold on, I gotta let it bake a little bit. Magic Mermaid. What's that tent? Magic Mermaid. I think for the next month, I'm going to just pull out the most obnoxious lip glosses in the entire world. No, I'm not going to. Anyway, who just left me a message? Somebody just called me and left me a message. It was like, no, it was spam. I thought it was my good Judy Tana Jean, seeing if we were going to have a pool day tomorrow, but it wasn't. Okay, so I thought I would do something fun and different over here. I got them all screenshot. Oh my God, I got so many of them. I got right in the middle of it, I got a screenshot of James Charles. But I got all these. James Charles, here he posted on here, sorry for not posting, I'm sick. You sure are, girl. I'm glad you're figuring it out. We all figured it out 4 years ago. But anyway, I posted on the Instagram. Where's my Instagram thing? I posted on here for a video, name an influencer, and I'll tell you about the first time I heard of them or saw them and what my first impression of them was. So I thought this would be kind of a fun video because I talk about a lot of the same people. I think we know that. I talk about the same 5 or 6 people. I've been talking about the same 5 or 6 people, okay, for the last, it'll be 8 years. September 1st is my 8-year anniversary doing drama over here. I posted my very first drama video on September 8th of 2016. So it'll be 8 years. Can you even believe it? But anyway, yeah, they said it couldn't be done. They said she's old. They said she ain't got nothing new to say. Well, I'm still here 8 years later. There's a lot of them influencers out there that had millions of subscribers and then dipped out a long time ago. But I'm still here, okay? I'm still here bringing you the laughter and the tears of the truth every single day. Some of you don't want to hear the truth, and that's okay. But, so, I feel like so many people think that I have, like, such firm beliefs and have always thought this way about certain people. And so I thought it would kind of be fun to go in and talk about the very first time that I ever would heard this person's name, was introduced to them, found them, saw a video of them, a TikTok, or whatever. So I asked you guys who you wanted me to respond to. Now, I haven't read any of these responses. I literally just went through and screenshot all of them. So I'm going to go through here and read them to you. Okay, I'm going to go straight down. So somebody said, oh, Mel, my book club partner. Actually, this is kind of bizarre that you asked me this. She said Nicole Guerrero. So to be honest with you, I don't really know a lot about Nicole Guerrero. The very first time I ever heard about Nicole Guerrero was after I had started my YouTube career, which I didn't know was going to be a career at that time. This was in 2016. And there was another drama commentary channel at that time that no longer exists, thank God. And this person was doing a hit piece on Nicole Guerrero, called it a hit piece, and asked me if I wanted to be involved in taking down Nicole Guerrero. And I said, no, I have no interest in taking down anybody. And that was the video that got them hundreds of thousands, supposedly. I don't know if they're real or not, but supposedly got them hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And that's about I've looked up Nicole through the years here and there, but I don't really know much about Nicole Guerrero at all, other than that one time. So, Nicole, I was not a part of that takedown whatsoever, but that was, I think, I've never really ever, other than that one time, and I think that was really the beginning of the end for what came after in the direction of Peter Monn, I think, because I knew, a lot of behind the scenes, the possibility of, buying subscribers and views and all that kind of stuff, and that this was intentionally trying to take down this person. I think they had pissed him off somehow. And so I think I knew that, which was part of this intense hatred that ended up coming my way afterwards. But I will say this, that is probably the one and only time I have ever had anybody in a commentary stance, I think people think that maybe a lot more of those conversations happen behind the scenes. I have never, ever had anybody else, ever in 8 years, approach me and say, do you want to take this person down? Do you want to, do a piece on this person, whatever? And I've never had anybody ever approach me about that before, ever. In all honesty, I think people will probably be surprised by this. I think most drama commentary channels, we will, behind the scenes, some of us, talk about, we might be sent, all of us, a piece of information, right? And so we'll kind of talk about it, are you going to do it? No, I think it's too sensitive. I'm not going to cover it. Yeah, I'm not going to cover it either. There's a lot of things that through the years we have never covered because we feel like they have to do with people's, families or personal information that has no relevance to the story whatsoever. And I think that's part of why, like, it pisses me off sometimes when drama commentary channels get a bad rap, because if you guys knew behind the scenes how many conversations we've had together about information that we would never release because it's too personal, it has no bearing on the current story, and then that would be just to take somebody down, right? And so we've had those discussions behind the scenes. I've had those, I mean, I've had that discussion with myself, like, I would never do this video because of blah, 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 whatever. Now, I have had influencers reach out to me and ask me not to do certain stories before, but typically when they ask me that, I either don't know what they're talking about, or it's a story I would never cover anyway, you know? I've had people reach out to me before about relationship problems that there's, like, rumors about and stuff like that. Those aren't typically videos that I make. So but that was my first introduction to Nicole Guerrero. Marlene Estelle. Okay, so Marlene Estelle, my first introduction to Marlene Estelle, I will say this, I did kind of glance through them. I didn't really read them all, but I glanced through them. You guys gave me a lot of different names in a lot of different communities. I was kind of surprised. So Marlene Estelle, I think the very first time I was ever introduced to Marlene Estelle, or a lot of these are the first time I remember it, okay, was when Marlene Estelle came out and said that she couldn't compete as a smaller independent brand, she couldn't compete with the amount of prices that big brands were paying influencers to do sponsorships. And then after that, it was either after that or before that, it was around the same time. I think maybe that might have been her response to James Charles doing the video with Tati Westbrook, where he did the math on the board and talked about why it's more cost effective for brands to hire influencers than it is for them to shoot a commercial, which is actually true. I just think it's interesting that James Charles plays so dumb in other areas, but the math that he showed on that board was literally like, I mean, it proved that people should be hiring influencers because they're gonna get more bang for their buck. And he was able to do that, but he's not able to come out and take accountability for his actions. And he likes to play dumb in those moments. I think those are moments where people forget. Like, those are things I don't remember to communicate. I mean, I would love to do, like, a dissertation on this, trust me, and back myself up. But I think those are things that, like, in the moment, I don't say. But when I get so frustrated with the fact that, like, James Charles won't come out and he won't address a situation like the allegations, or it's very calculated how he addresses it, or he does an article in the Cosmopolitan and he plays dumb. This is also a man, an adult man, he's, you know, over 25 years old, that got on a board with Tati Westbrook. These are two huge beauty influencers at the time were making millions of dollars, and explained why it was more cost effective for brands to hire influencers than it was for them to hire or to shoot a commercial. He can do that. He's that thoughtful about things, but he can't come out and think it through. It's my same issue with Colleen Ballinger, right? Colleen Ballinger, who is a, you know, 35 plus year old woman, I think she's 37 at this point. I don't know how old Colleen Ballinger is, but she's old enough to know better. And she can't come out and address this stuff, but she has arranged world tours. She has arranged meet and greets. She has arranged shows. She's written shows. She wrote her own Netflix show, but she can't write herself out of this mess. Like, for me, it's when people want to defend that, that's where, to me, it is. It's not that they don't know how to do better. It's that they're choosing not to do better, right? And for me, that's a huge issue. So I think that was around the time that I was introduced to Marlene Estelle. I think I said something about her in a video and she reached out to me, or she tweeted me or something like that. But I think that was around the time that I found out who Marlene Estelle was. Desi Perkins. Okay, God, people keep on. Next person asked me about Nicole Guerrero too. Desi Perkins is the same person asked me about Desi Perkins and Nicole Guerrero. I didn't really follow either one of them. I'll tell you, to be honest with you, this is so embarrassing. I know Desi Perkins more from the Key sunglasses than I do from anything else. That's really probably how I found out about Desi Perkins. I don't really know much about Desi Perkins or Nicole Guerrero. There are two beauty influencers that have kind of stayed out of the drama through the years, so I haven't really followed them or done many videos about them. I don't think at all. JoJo Siwa. Well, JoJo Siwa, I found from watching Dance Moms. I mean, like, I just shared all this stuff about Dance Moms. So I watched Dance Moms with my friend Melissa. I mean, we used to watch that, and I can never remember the other one. Every time I call her, she's always like, how do you never remember this? The one that goes DD4L, Diana, you know, I love her. But anyway, we used to watch those together every week. Melissa and I, we would watch Dance Moms. I watched Dance Moms from literally episode 1 all the way through. I know that it's a lot. It was like, I know that it's getting a bad rap now for like child exploitation and stuff like that. But at that time, nobody was talking about that. And I did watch it in real time. I watched all of it. I know everything about that show. There's nothing about that show that you can throw at me that I don't already know. I remember when Jesslyn and JoJo came on the show. I remember how cruel the moms were to Jesslyn. The girls were mean to JoJo. Abby Lee was mean to JoJo. What's so interesting to me, I mean, and I'm not getting into the whole of where JoJo is today. I'm just talking about when I first was introduced to her. What's so interesting to me is that JoJo's really one of the only girls that has ever stood by Abby Lee Miller. And Abby Lee Miller was meaner to JoJo than, if you watched the show like I did in real time, she was meaner to JoJo than she was to any of the other girls. I mean, she literally laughed along with the other girls at JoJo. She would make fun of JoJo to the point where JoJo was crying in the studio. I mean, it was horrific. And JoJo would get out there, and God love that little girl at that time, would just dance her heart out and wear that bow. And that bow, I think, one of the reasons why it became so famous, and this is why I said she should have turned it into something. Like, all these things that I say in videos aren't just like, I mean, I watched the show for, what, 10 or 13 years or however long it was on. I mean, that bow represented this little girl, right, that just loved to dance and wanted to be in the spotlight. And that's kind of, I think, what makes me sad about JoJo Siwa today, is that she was so authentically herself on the show. Like, she really was. She was like this little innocent spirit, right? That just wanted to dance. That she just loved it. And she loved this big bow. And they'd make fun of her for it. And she didn't care, because that's who she was. And she sold out. JoJo Siwa has 100% sold out. She was so authentic at that age. And it just did not translate. And now she's trying to be something that she's not. And it's really sad to me. She really needs to go back and watch some of those old episodes and tap into who she was when she was 8 and 9 years old. Because she was so authentically herself at that point, right? And I think, like, so many kids are authentically themselves, you know? I mean, I know I was. I mean, people would be like, oh, you're doing shows and whatever, you were unafraid. Well, when I went to school, I was totally bullied and afraid. But that was when I was first introduced to JoJo Siwa. It was through Dance Moms. Philip DeFranco. Well, I don't think I found Philip DeFranco until I started doing drama commentary. I think I found Philip DeFranco and Keemstar from Drama Alert around the same time. And I started watching a lot of their videos, and I enjoyed their setup of their videos. At one point, I even thought, like, maybe, like, doing, like, a studio setup. Back in the day, I will tell you, I don't know if anybody asked me about this, we'll find out, but I used to watch religiously, long before I was on YouTube, What's the Buck with Michael Buckley, where he would do pop culture, like, drama coverage, and I loved his show. I thought his show was fantastically done. I think he is another person that lost his mind online, and I know he's doing life coaching and stuff now, but he really had it figured out. I loved him, like, wearing a suit and sitting behind a desk every day. It was very kind of like the YouTube version of, like, a talk show, and he was one of the first people to do it. Honestly, I don't think if Michael Buckley existed, I don't know that we would have Philip DeFranco or Keemstar today. That's just the truth. I think, like, he was really the one that set the way for that. There was a period where I thought about doing, like, a setup behind a desk and stuff, but it just really isn't, like, who I am. But that was around the time that I really started watching Keemstar and Philip DeFranco, and I liked that they did, like, several of their, several topics in one video, and that they were kind of, like, unafraid to share their opinion about it. And I think, like, with Def Noodles is a good example of this. Def Noodles is somebody that copied that model, and it worked for him until he chose not to do it anymore. So it really worked for Def Noodles for a while. I mean, Def Noodles followed that model. I think that model is a great model. I mean, you don't even have to sit behind a desk. I think to cover several topics in a video, people are interested in that, you know? So I think those kind of videos that do that are more like, I mean, they're on a higher echelon of drama than I am ever going to be on, right? And so I think they do it on a more, well, especially Philip DeFranco, I think does it on a more professional level. I'm kind of surprised, to be honest with you, at this point, that Philip DeFranco isn't somebody that's been offered, like, a bigger kind of, like, title or job on TV. And he may have been and declined it because he makes so much money on YouTube. I don't know. Kendall Ray. Well, interestingly enough, Kendall Ray made a video years ago about drama channels, and she called out, like, a bunch of drama channels in her video. She didn't call me out in her video, but what she did was in the description box, she said she included my picture in the thumbnail, if I'm remembering correctly. In the description box, she said something about, and Peter Monn could do better because he's smarter. He doesn't have to rely on this drama or something like that. Well, I turned around and I made a video. Well, this was a huge back and forth between the drama channels and Kendall Rae, because Kendall Rae was defending a friend of hers that had a drama video made about her. I don't even remember who it was. At that time, Kendall Rae and I reached out to her, she reached out to me, I honestly don't remember, and we had a back and forth in DMs. In all transparency, she was extremely arrogant with me. I kind of just backed up and was like, okay, Kendall, whatever. Like, she was like, I apologize, but, I mean, she was extremely arrogant. And I kind of just backed up and I was like, okay, I don't want to fight with you, whatever. I'm sorry too, it is whatever it is. And then I kind of started watching her true crime, and I loved her true crime for a long time. I take some issues with how she's doing true crime now, and I know a lot of other people are as well. And it is what it is. So I hope that she takes the suggestions that people are giving her, that the victims' families are giving her, and that she takes that to heart and she really listens to it. But yeah, I to be honest with you, other than that, I have no issues with Kendall Rae. After that interaction with her, I kind of was just like, okay, this is just who Kendall Rae is. She's just this young woman that got very big on YouTube, and it's kind of gone to her head a little bit, and she doesn't really know how to have a conversation. I mean, if I read the DMs to you, I think you'd be like, yeah, it comes across as a little arrogant. But I think in that moment, and I try to step back and understand people. I think she was really trying to, and I would not read those DMs because I'm good with her today. I don't need to, I wish her all the best, honestly. I don't need to continue to fight with people and DMs and whatever. And it was I wasn't going to go back and forth with her. And then when I stepped back, I was like, well, from her point of view of protecting her friend, I can see her stance. So I was trying to understand the situation overall, but that's how I found Kendall Rae. And then I followed Kendall Rae, and I think she follows me today. And yeah, and other than the issues other people have, I don't really have any issues with that. Lizzie from the SIP. How did I first find her? I found her on the SIP with Ryland and got bored very quickly with both of them on the SIP. Nikocado Avocado. God, when did I find Nikocado Avocado? I think I found Nikocado Avocado through, I think, other people talking about him and covering him in drama videos is really how I found out about him. We had a couple interactions back and forth through the years, and they were a little unhinged, and I was like, okay, I just don't need any part of this relationship anymore. It was there was nothing I could do or say to make him okay with anything. I just was like, whatever, you need to go fix yourself over there and leave me out of it. I'm not part of this. I don't care that deeply about Nikocado Avocado. I wish him the best. He's another person to me, and I know he was on a diet and lost some weight. I don't know if he's gained it back or whatever. I don't watch him at all anymore. I haven't watched him for a while. Like anybody, I wish him the best. I don't know. I have a very, very hard time investing in people that are willing to, oh, you know what? I just remember when I found him. I have a very, very hard time investing in people that are willing to monetize their health. I have a huge issue with that. I remember when I first found him was when I became a vegetarian, because I was seeing that a lot of vegans, a lot of vegetarians were being called out online for having stopped being vegans and vegetarians, and he was one of those people. I think that's when I first found him online. So, okay, let's get into a couple more of these. I'm not going to go much longer. If you guys like this, I'll do a little bit more. God, some of these people I don't really remember. Manny MUA. Okay, Manny MUA I found because when I first started on, and somebody just sent me a message the other day, they said, where's Sanders Kennedy? I have no idea where Sanders Kennedy is. Sanders Kennedy and I were never friends like that. Karina Kaboom and I were never friends like that. Karina Kaboom, we did have, I think, one nice interchange towards the end, and I wish Karina the best. I found, so when I first started, maybe this is a good place to end, and then if you guys like this, I have literally 100 more names. If you like this, I could do this tomorrow. But I found Manny MUA because my very first video, we'll end on this one since this is coming up on my anniversary. My very first drama video that I ever did was talking about falling down the rabbit hole on YouTube. And I have been watching videos about Jeffree Star and Kat Von D. Sanders Kennedy and Karina Boom were literally the only two drama channels at the time, period, in the story. When people want to say that there was no drama back then, they were the only two covering it. I did not realize that there were channels that were covering drama within the beauty influencer space. I was mesmerized by it, and I started watching a lot of their videos. Karina Kaboom talked about Manny MUA in her videos. She did not like Manny MUA because Manny MUA had said some very unkind things about Karina Kaboom. So I went in and I watched a Manny MUA video. And I think the first video of his that I watched was my boyfriend or something. And it was like, you couldn't see who the boyfriend was. And I was like, who's his boyfriend? And it was Patrick Starr. It was a video about them going out and talking about going to clubs and stuff like that. It wasn't really his boyfriend. But I honestly thought that Manny MUA, if you go back and watch my early videos, I for real thought that Manny MUA's name was Manny Mua for years and years and years. In fact, I just watched this video of him the other day that he did in 2020. It was an interview with Cosmopolitan UK, and he said that people think his name is Mua. And I'm like, that is so bizarre, because I think I'm the only person that called you Manny Mua for years and years and years. I don't know. But I did used to get a lot of comments, and people would say, oh my God, I thought it was Mua too. So I found Manny MUA through Karina Kaboom. So you can blame her for all of it today. But anyway, I think she's doing Amberlynn Reid content today, and I wish her the best of luck. I really, really do. You know, honestly, if it wasn't for Karina and Sanders, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I mean, they were the reason why I got so intrigued with doing drama to begin with. So I have about 100, 200 more names. If you guys would like me to do more of this, let me know, and I will do a follow-up video tomorrow. I love you guys so much, and I will see you then. Bye.